Quasi here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you events and meanings and really how to understand the principle of coordination and why most people move a step forward towards their goal and keep taking a step back. And even more than that, why goal achievement becomes very, very slow and how to speed it up. And by the end of this video, you're going to learn the 2 keys that I personally use and the clients in the Reality Mastery program, that internal switch needed to help you make that transition in putting the gas on fully towards the goal. I want you to really stick around to the very end of this video because there's going to be a lot of gems throughout it. Before I begin this video, I want to quickly announce that a couple of spots have opened up for the free one-to-one consult with me for the Reality Mastery program. We've been fully booked for the past couple of weeks. I understand there's been a lot of emails too requesting spots, but because of the volume we're receiving of applicants, we've been fully booked. So if you want to apply, now's your chance. So wait till the end of the video for the announcement on that. And with that, let's get started with this video. So in this video, we want to talk about paving the pathway towards the goal. And really, what do I mean by this? Well, you'll see that, once you go towards the goal, what happens is most people, they start off on the right track, but then they end up taking a step back and then they go again. And then they take another step back and then go again. So it's kind of like being stuck in a cycle. They're never able to make that net forward movement, but rather it's just like making a $200 profit one month and then making a $200 loss the next month. This is what's happening with people's lives. Why this happens is because of the quality of your thoughts and the meaning and the attention you're placing on it. So we're going to be delving deep into the quality of attention, the types of attention there is, how to consciously choose the one that's serving you, and as a result, only have net forward movement in your life. Okay? So first of all, what I wanted to really begin with is the concept that most people nowadays are more clear on what they want to, what's undesired, what they want to avoid, rather than what they actually want. So the undesired outcome is we're more clear on that than desired. Now, I really want you to think about this. In terms of, let's say, relationship, in terms of, let's say, wealth, this is big. Like, ask yourself this. Right now, let's say you want a relationship. Why do you want it? Is it because you want to avoid being lonely? Or is it because you actually want to experience the relationship? Most people want a relationship as a patch to fill up their void, okay? So they want all of these things. They want the money not to be poor. Instead of actually experiencing life and what it's like to be wealthy, what it's like to be able to, have this financial freedom. So the inherent desire, it begins at resistance. That's always the case. It will always begin at resistance. But the biggest problem is people keep drumming up this resistance, and as a result, they stay stuck. So this scarcity mindset is never relinquished, but rather every single thing you approach, all of this doing, the things that you do, the businesses that you try, the relationships that you get into, you come into it with a scarcity mindset. To give you an example, when I wanted to get to financial freedom, quit my corporate career, I tried out drop shipping, I tried out stock market trading, etc., etc. I tried out all of these things with a scarcity mindset because I wanted to break free, but not because I actually wanted something deeper and more fulfilling for my life. Once I started to get more clear about what I wanted for my life, what I wanted my life to stand for, came from a place of abundance rather than just holding on in scarcity. That's when things started happening for me. That's when it actually started to become fulfilling. That's when real success came, right? If you become unconsciously successful, you're always going to be suffering your success. This is why people, when they come in with the intention of just, making a little bit of money and they hold on to it, they're never able to, first of all, enjoy it, or second, they always lose it. It's never permanent. It's always temporary. So really ask yourself this right now. Why do you even want what you're desiring? Is it coming from a place of, I'm desiring it because I want to avoid what the opposite of it is? Or is it because you actually want to experience something greater, something more, and actually, come from a place of desire rather than fear and avoidance and lack, right? And this brings me to the quality of attention. So most people come from a place of negative attention. So really there are 3 types of attention, okay? I want you to remember this. There are 3 types of attention. There is positive attention, there is negative attention, and then there's neutral attention. If we map this out, it'll look something like this. We have positive attention, we have negative attention, and we have neutral attention, which has no charge, like a proton, electron, and a neutron, right? So the interesting thing is these 3 types of attention have 2 qualities. I want you to remember this. And the 2 qualities are polarizing and non-polarizing. Both positive and negative attention are polarizing. Neutral attention is the only one that's non-polarizing. This is why this gets so interesting. And if you look at ancient yogic cultures, ancient Eastern mysticism, all of that, they always encourage you to approach everything with neutrality. Neutral attention has the power to dissolve reality. In ancient yogic culture, there's this concept known as karma. And what karma is essentially not what goes around comes around, but it translates to action. The very thing that's binding you to this physical existence is what's known as karma. Whenever you have positive or negative attention, you're creating positive or negative karma, right? But, true yogis who are on the search to liberation, on the path to liberation, they don't care about any karma. All karma is bad. They want to drop it all. It's like a little backpack they're carrying. They don't care about the material wealth. They don't care about being happy and, getting the next thing, the next material success, getting the relationship. All they care about is the ultimate, the liberation, right? For you and me, we're not there yet. I mean, you got to achieve all your goals to get to that state. Unless and until this illusion is broken, you can't get to that state. You can pretend all you want that that's what you want. But unless and until you've achieved all your goals, you've made the million, and you've gotten to that point of, oh, well, what's next? That's when it'll hit you, okay? So not everyone's ready for that path. Not everyone's ready for the path towards enlightenment. This is why achieving your worldly goals is the first step towards getting to that point. So neutral attention still has the same effect in everyday life. If you neutrally observe something, it no longer has power over you. If you have a positive attention, you like something, you love something, you'll get more of it. If you hate something, you'll get more of it. So we get more of what we hate, you get more of what you hate, and more of what you love. Now you might be thinking, oh, Quasi, does that mean if I hate money, I'll get more of it? No, because you can't sincerely hate money. Like, try hating money with all your heart. See if you can do it. If you can, maybe it'll work. But it'll be an insincere feeling. You might be thinking, yes, I'm going to try to hate it. But you can't do that. It's what's in your heart, right? So if you sincerely hate something, you're going to get more and more of it. If you sincerely love something, you're going to get more and more of it. If you neutrally observe it, it's just going to have no effect. It's going to dissolve. So really what I want to you to take away from this is initially what happens is we look into the mirror. We look at ourselves and our current states of being. We look at our bank account. We don't like it. We begin at this point. Let's say we have this scale. We begin at the point of resistance. Okay? And what happens is because we begin at this point of resistance, we're unable to break free from this resistance. We're unable to get to the desire. To give you an example, when I started my career towards, making YouTube videos, working towards being a revolutionary coach, giving value, I initially started with a resistance to my corporate job, right? I hated that. And also why I really hated that I saw was that the core emotional driver I had was that I don't want to be mediocre. And that's what I was looking at all the time. I don't want to be mediocre. Every single thing I did, I don't want to be mediocre. Or why do you want to make a lot of money in the stock market? I don't want to be mediocre. Or why do you want to, start drop shipping? I don't want to be mediocre. Why real estate investing? I don't want to be mediocre. Well, what do you want? That's when we come here, right? Well, I don't want to be mediocre. What do you want? I want to be extraordinary. Boom. That's when I started to focus on that. So most people are unable to break free from the resistance and go to desire. And as a result, the forward movement doesn't occur. It's kind of like being on the highway. You look at the car next to you and you're like, oh, I want to avoid that car. Okay, I'm getting dangerously close to that car. I want to avoid it. But then you look at the car again, like, oh, I'm getting dangerously close to it. And then you look at the car again, oh, I'm getting even closer to it. But then when you stop looking at the car and then just focus on the lane, then you just get centered in the lane and you move away from the car anyways. So that goes to show that whatever you focus on, whether or not you want to avoid it, whether or not you desire it, you're going to move towards it. That's the quality of polar attention. That's why there's two qualities of your attention. The neutral one, when you no longer focus on it and you just focus on the lane, you stay centered in the lane. But when you have a positive or negative attention towards something, you're going to bring it into your life. Okay? So, yeah, that's the example of the car on the highway. So now I want to share with you the 2 keys that's really going to help you overcome this and move towards desire. Because what's really happening right now is unconsciously every single day, when you approach it, you come from the place of fear. You're like, oh, shit, things aren't going my way. Well, try to do that thing, try to do that thing, try to do this thing, right? So this doingness is coming from a place, the beingness of lack. Okay, so the paradigm of reality creation goes like this. You start at the being, and then comes the doing, and then, as a result, the havingness follows. These are the 3 stages. But the problem is, we're focused first on having, and then on doing, and then we finally focus on being. Like we think, okay, if I have the money, then I'll do, the things that I love to do, and then I'll be rich. But it doesn't work like that. Internally, you've got to be worthy of the wealth first. And then you've got to do the things and, be as though you're already wealthy. And you've got to come from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. And then you'll genuinely have it. You will consciously be able to keep it and enjoy it. Like the biggest problem and the biggest reason I see that people get to a certain level of success, but they've, you just know that they've grinded and willpowered it out and crunk it out. They've come from a very, very, a place of scarcity, and they've come to a certain level in their entrepreneurship career. And they've just stayed stuck there. They're stagnant there. They can't move up to the next level. Why that happens is because the place they're coming from is no longer serving the progression towards the next level. That's why this lack will always be there. All right, so now I want to share with you the 2 keys that'll help you make this transition into your life and organically come from a place of desire. Key number 1 is you've got to become acutely aware of what's going on, this internal process that's going on. Become acutely aware of your thoughts. Every time you think about doing something, ask yourself, what place is this coming from? Who is it that even wants to do this? Right? Like, do I want to do this because, I don't know, I want to avoid the alternative? Or do I want to do this because I want to experience what it's like to have that, to be that, right? So learn to flip the coin. The coin you're currently focused on, and this isn't your fault, because what happens is we've been conditioned to focus on the lack so much. This is societal conditioning. We've been put into this conditioning that if we don't hold on to it, we're going to lose it. We must hold on to it, or else we're not going to lose it. But the thing is, the more you hold on to it, the more you say to yourself that, oh, there is a possibility of losing it, and then losing comes. Inevitably, something comes and takes it away from you. Right? So learn to flip the coin and look at the other side. Okay, well, this is what I don't want. What do I want instead? Every single day, sometimes I'll even find myself in that loop. Like, oh, I don't want this to happen. Oh, I don't want this client to refund. Oh, I don't want XYZ to happen. What do I want instead? Oh shit, I'm focusing on the clients that said no to me and didn't want to join my program. Well, who are the clients that did join? It's crazy, when I made my first 20K month in my business, I remember all I could focus on was the 3 no's that I got that could have been potential yeses. And I saw that was just a scary trap to be in. Like, you're focusing on what hasn't happened rather than what has. Like, what about the clients you actually got? But no, the mind focuses on the clients you didn't get. You don't want your energy to go into that. That's the surefire way of getting trapped in scarcity. Okay? Whenever that happens, you got to catch yourself and break free from it. That's when you flip the coin. Okay? In every single area of your life, this is going to happen at first. But as you condition yourself more and more, you see that naturally you become more peaceful. Naturally you get grateful. You start to focus on things that you do have. Get happy for what you do have. What do you want? I want to avoid this. Well, what do you want? Right? So learn to flip the switch, to flip the coin. And the second thing, this is extremely powerful, is accept the failure scenario. Okay? Why I say this is because this is you attributing neutral attention. When you get okay with the worst case scenario happening, you get into a state where it's just you're neutral towards it and it no longer affects you. If you resist the worst case scenario happening, you're like, I don't want this to happen. I don't want this to happen. Then it will happen. We had a client in the program who came in and he was going through a tough divorce. He didn't want to lose his daughter, right? And he was like, this is my biggest fear. Well, if this is your biggest fear, the likelihood of it happening is much higher than if you just got okay within yourself. If you get okay with it happening and see what life looks like after it's happened, then this trapped energy is no longer there. It's dissolved. It's spread out. The natural law of life is entropy. Everything wants to expand. No energy wants to be trapped. Energy wants to flow. When you start to, concentrate energy on this, then things happen. Kind of like concentrating energy on your goals. If you desire your goals and concentrate energy on it, it's going to happen. If you concentrate your fear on what you want to avoid, then it's going to happen. Right? So, accept the failure scenario, and in that manner, you dissolve it. Now there is no longer this resistance towards it, but rather a neutrality. If it happens, great. If not, no problem. My life is great anyways. And in that manner, you'll see that you move towards with the flow of life, and it actually delivers you towards your goals without you having to fight against it. Like, really, there are three types of people. First of all, there's the people who get swept away by the flow. They think everything is too overwhelming and they can't go with the flow of life. They don't have enough life energy because they're not even clear on what they want. They don't have a goal. So the first type is they get swept by the flow. The second type is, they fight against the flow. Right? These people, they wanted too much. These people, first people swept away by the flow, they're too surrendered, too laid back, and they get swept by it. The second are too intentful. They wanted too much, too needy, so too much desire. I shouldn't say intentful, it's more desire. Intention is always good. Intention always means that there is no desire, but the desire has been transmuted into action. So the second type of people, they're too much, they wanted too much, they needed too much. And as a result, they keep fighting against the flow. The third type of people have achieved a balance between the two, between effort and surrender. And they're what we call in the Reality Mastery Program the wizards. They adjust their sails to go with the flow. And whenever the flow isn't serving them and isn't taking them towards their goals, they can course correct and jump onto the right flow, right? There's always going to be a fork in the road, a challenge that's going to show up whenever you go to a new level. We'll talk more about this later. But for this video, what I want you to take away is really that most people are very, very clear on what they want to avoid, even more than what they want. This is why in week 1 of the program, in Reality Mastery, what we do is we get crystal clarity on what we want in such a way that all of these distractions, all these doubts, all these fears you have, they naturally fall apart. And the only thing left for you to do is put one foot in front of the other, go towards your goals. Because those are the only things your reticular activating system is focused on. So understand that right now, you're focusing more on the undesired outcome. And even be honest with yourself. Like, do I want this because I want to avoid the alternative or to actually enjoy and experience this? Right? Do I want the relationship because I genuinely want to experience having a fulfilling relationship? Or do I want it because I don't want to die alone? Right? Understand that your attention has 3 types, but 2 qualities. There's polarizing attention, which contains the positive and negative, and the non-polarizing attention, which dissolves reality, the neutral attention. Learn when to use what. And remember that you get more of what you hate and more of what you love. If you sincerely hate something, you're going to get more of it. If you sincerely love something, you're going to get even more of it. And finally, the 2 keys we talked about was, first of all, whenever you're focused on the wrong thing, wake up. Become acutely aware. See that you're focusing on the undesired. For the next 14 days, do this. You'll see your whole mindset will shift and you'll start moving towards your goals rather than towards the undesired outcome. If you keep focusing on what you don't want, ask yourself, what do I want instead? Oh, I want to avoid that. Well, what do I want instead? An easy way to do this is, if you're focusing on the fears and doubts, have two objects, like a bottle and, let's say, a glass. And call the glass the positive part, what you do want, and the bottle the negative. Right? When you're thinking about the negative, focus on the bottle. When you're thinking about what you do want, focus on the glass. That way you'll get the hang of switching your attention between what is unwanted and what is wanted. And the separation begins. That's a very, very powerful way of doing that. Number 2, accept, whenever you're fearing the failure and you want to avoid something, accept the failure scenario. Learn to look at what life looks like once you have failed. Is it so bad? Does life still go on? Yes? Once you get okay with that excess energy that's been trapped into you avoiding this scenario, which inevitably brings you towards it, that's going to dissolve. And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this was helpful. Please leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of this, if you want me to make more videos like this. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. And also, as I mentioned before, I'm super excited to announce the free one-to-one consult with me for the Reality Mastery program is now open. If you're interested in signing up to see if we would be a good fit to work together, make sure you click on the link in the description below. And again, this is only for you if you are interested in working together in a paid program with me, alongside me, to see if we can take your life to the next level. If you're looking for a free conversation, there's a lot of volume. We're only holding spots for those who are serious about working together. Okay? So typically, this is for you if you're an entrepreneur, you're looking to take your revenue, you're stuck at a certain revenue level, you're looking to take it to the next level by solving the internal problem. If you're a professional looking to transition out or even take it to the next level in your career, this is for you. If you're looking to work on your relationships, take your personal life, and you've been stuck in the same loop over and over, then this is for you. Okay? So make sure you take advantage of this opportunity. A couple spots have opened up. Click on the link to sign up. And also, if you're looking to join our free Facebook community, it's a great community of like-minded people. The link for that is in the description as well. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Peace.